Hello guys, how are you? So as some of you know, I was this weekend at the Vacation Rental World Summit in Italy, in the north of Italy, and it was great. At first I was a bit afraid because I was leaving my daughter who is 20 months old or 21 months old alone, like without me, not alone with her father and grandmother, but it went very well, so this was really good for her and for me. And now that I'm back, when I was in the plane coming back to Valencia, I really wanted took some notes. I really wanted to give you some insight of what I got from this summit, not only for the vacation rental industry. Of course, some points will be about the vacation rentals industry, and in fact, I will go into much more details in my group for some trainings. But here it will be more general about business in general. So yeah, let's see what I learned. If you're watching live, feel free to say hi and say where you're watching from. So the first thing that was repeated over and over during the 2 days from the different speakers during the talks is that you have to focus on what you're good at. Really focus on what you're good at and what's your what's your unique thing. For instance, if we talk about vacation rentals, but about any business in general, what's unique about your business? What's unique about your property? Focus on this and really work on this. So if we take the vacation rental business for this example, but also for other businesses, find a niche website where you can advertise your property, or for other businesses where you can advertise your business, because those niche websites will help you stand out and there will be less competitors than on the general website. It's good to be on the general website as well, because of course they get more traffic, but you have to be as well on the niche website. For people in my group, of course, I will do a training on how to find those niche websites and which niche websites are good for different people in the group. So this was one important point, is about to be unique. Really focus on these unique things. And one thing which was I was very happy that some people talked about it, it was about following your own values, following what your heart is telling you to do, not only what the business or the industry is telling you to do, but really follow your own values. So for instance, in the vacation rentals industry, we had Bob Garner, who did a talk about how he was doing something for the environment with people coming at his place with his guests, and how it was good for his business, how it was good for him following his own values, and also good for the guests. And he has over 60, I think it's 67% or 65, I don't remember well, but over 60% of people who are either repeat guests or referral guests. So imagine more than 2/3 of the people coming to his place are people that he knows, or that people that knows him in a way. So this is amazing, and this is in a way thanks to what he is doing and following his own values. So that's one talk that inspired me a lot, because for me there are important values about the environment, about being vegan and different things, and hearing other people talk about it and talk about that, the fact it's so good for your business and we should do it because it makes us feel very aligned with what we are. This was really good. And also Henriette and Cathy talked about it in another speech. They talked about it, how to be social responsible in their business, and because that's also their values, they were feeling aligned, and it was really helping them as well to stand out, because they were showing people their values, and the people who are interested, who have the same values, will feel connected and will be more inclined to go to their places and to recommend their places. So that was one thing about the uniqueness. Yeah, one thing that I really want to focus on, and also, and that I learned, but I knew as well, but it's always good, and this has been repeated in a lot of talks this weekend, was focus really on what you're good at. What you're not good at, it's better to have other people do it for you, so that you can focus on what you're good at. For instance, if we talk about the vacation rental business, but not only vacation rental business in general, there are 3 things in a book that I'm reading right now, which is called Chillpreneur. The author is talking about eliminate, automate, and delegate. 3 things to reduce your workload and to focus on what you're good at. So, for instance, the first one, eliminate. What does it mean? Eliminate any task which is not really necessary for your business, which you do because you think that you might have to do it. This is especially when we think about like perfectionism. We want to be like perfect, do everything perfect. Perfectionism will not bring you like more customers. It will just make you or make someone else working for you lose their time. So eliminate the things which are not super important. The second one, automate. So for instance, for any business, but for the vacation rental business, sending messages, before check-in or when you get an inquiry, when you get booking, sending messages before checkout or after check-in, those things can be automated. This can be done by a machine. We are like in an era where a lot of things can be done by machine, so we should take advantage of this because this is saving us time, and those are things that machine can do for us. I will talk after. This is an important point about the summit that we talked about a lot, was about like human versus machine. What's the role of human beings right now in this area where there is artificial intelligence, and how to have a mix. But for like automated messages, for instance, for vacation rentals, but also for other businesses like email marketing, have your email automated in a way. This is really important. And then the third thing that you should consider is to delegate. So if there is something that is taking you too much time, or that you're not, like, as I said, like focus on what you're good at. If there is something that you are not good at, delegate it, because they will take less time to do it, and for you it will bring, like, not use your energy for something that you like cannot do that well, and that is taking too much of your mental energy, let's say. So this was one thing. And I talked about eliminate, automate, delegate. That's what I wanted to say. And for delegate, you can. There was Steve Milo on stage at the summit. He's a director of V-Trips. He has over almost 2,000 properties, like 1,700 to be exact. Properties all over the US, but also in other parts in Mexico, I think, in the Caribbean, or Hawaii as well. So over this, and he gave a talk where there were so many like interesting things to explain others how he grew such a huge property management business. It was very interesting, and one of the things that was that I got from this talk was, and that I wanted to share with you, was about that the delegate parts. And that there are some things that you can do in-house, so that you can hire people to do, and there are some things that you can just have people work as contractor, freelancer, do for you. I will go into more details in the group about the things that people can, like what you should have in-house as your own employees, and what you should not have as your own employees, and what you can have a mix of, because this was really interesting from Steve Milo. But this was for today. Like, I wanted to talk about delegates, like really focus on what you're good at, like your uniqueness. That's the good thing. Then, what I told you about already, like human versus machine. So this was really interesting as well during the summit, because this is something that came back in a lot of presentation. A lot of companies which were there were tech companies, of course, because tech companies are everywhere right now, and also because it's needed. We are in a world where there is, as I said, human, like artificial intelligence, and this can really help your business in a way. So the question is how to find the right balance between human help and artificial intelligence and machine help. So one figures, one stat which was very important, you have to know that if you have a vacation rental, 67% of people prefer to have a self-check-in. So nowadays we have all those keyless lock where you can just with an app or with a password enter the flat. This is amazing, and this is what people are looking for. In fact, I would not have guessed that there was such a high number, but yes, 67% prefer self-check-in. Why? Because think when you're traveling, what would you like to do when you just arrive in the place? You just want to rest, you don't want to talk. The only thing you want to know is the Wi-Fi password probably. And thanks to artificial intelligence, you can have this without having someone at your place for the check-in. Of course, if you want to have someone, if you want to be there, you can always ask people before checking, do you prefer check-in and that we can meet on another day, or would you like me to show you around, or someone of my team show you around the flat or the house? Then people tell you what they prefer, and that way you're sure that you're replying to their expectation and their demands. Some people prefer self-checking, some people prefer to be welcomed by someone. But really, like, remember, 67% prefer self-check-in. Another talk which was really interesting, and I would have never guessed that I would say this, is about artificial intelligence, and probably a lot of those speakers, intelligent speakers, which use Alexa or Google Home, Alexa from Amazon or Google Home. There was Dana Young, which is founder of Virtual Concierge, which did an amazing presentation, and who managed to convince me of how important and how amazing this was for the vacation rental industry. And again, I will go into more details in the group for a training about this. But what I wanted to say today, is that 47% of people are using often this voice technology. So 47%, it's also a stat which really surprised me. I didn't know it was so much. I never used it, and my sister is using it, and I saw how it's working. Basically, she's asking Alexa to play a song, and then the song is played. And this is very nice. For instance, Antonio, who is organizing this summit, was saying that when for instance, you enter a place, especially if you have a luxury place, you enter a place, the person is doing the self-check-in, they open the door, and at this time, thanks to voice technology, without you having to say anything or them having to say anything, music, depending on what you would like to be played, can be played. For instance, classical music, or if it's Christmas, some Christmas song or things like this. This is really nice. And also, you can also have so that when they enter the flat or the villa, someone from this Google Home or Alexa can tell them the Wi-Fi password, or they can ask for the Wi-Fi password and know that there is this speaker in the place, and they can ask questions there. Thanks to Virtual Concierge, he put a lot of questions, and you can put questions as well manually in it, so that you have the most used question about your place, which are reply to answer to. So this was very interesting talk as well. Another thing, it depends of the countries, but in Spain, in Italy, in other countries in Europe, and I think as well in Brazil and in other countries in South America, when people are checking in your place, they need to give your ID, they need to give their ID, you have to do a copy, and then you have to give it to the police. This is a very, let's say, not the best practice, not the best thing to do. You're losing a lot of time. So someone now some tech companies created some applications so that it's all automated. So this is also something where the machine is very good because you can take the picture, the sign on it, and then it's sent to the police station. This is just amazing. And then what else? Yeah. So the good thing is to have like a mix between human and machine. For instance, also we have like those revenue management. Which price point would justify the use? Okay, Michelle is asking me which price point would justify the use of voice-activated equipment. So Dana Young in the presentation said that those speakers start at $25 for speakers. Then if you want, you can even have virtual concierge. I don't remember, I will give you the link. I don't remember the pricing, but any price point, because if we think about the fact that 47% are using it regularly, this means that 1 out of 2 guests would use it. And this is very useful. Also, there is Alexa Guard, which can help you like detect the noises. If like your flat is, if you're not in your flat and your flat is not rented, they can detect the noise. It can put some light. Sometimes it can detect smoke problems. So this could be like really helpful in a lot of situations for not such a high price. Of course, there are like different different equipment, and some are more expensive than others, but it doesn't have to be that expensive to start. And one thing, I was talking about the pricing, revenue management. This is good to have the machine do it for you, so that you have like the perfect price depending on, and beyond pricing. I was talking to them at the summit, and it's very interesting to see how they are working, how they are like measuring. Also, like if it's Easter, but Easter is not the same date, they like see sometime in advance that the demand is already rising, so they tell you to put their price higher. They are very much helping you, but of course some things are happening only like once a year and not for the same dates, and that's where the human as well needs to pick up and think about like I think it was, I don't remember who said it at the summit, but the fact that yes, you think okay, there will be the Super Bowl, and this year it will be in Atlanta. It was not this year, but it will be in Atlanta, and then of course the price will rise very high. And because it was not the same last year, it was not the same place, then your revenue management, your pricing tool will not know it. But if you know it, if you know that there is a big event which is not happening every year in town, then this is you who have to change it. So this is where the human interaction is important as well. So I will do other trainings like more into details. I'm already going very much into details, but this was about like what I learned about like how important is human, how important is machine, how to have a good mix of the two. Then one thing that I said a bit about it at the beginning, but very important, like be you. This is something that I really got from this conference. And I remember before when I was working for someone, going to conferences, and you have like to wear like the super formal clothes, you have to wear like what everyone is expecting you to wear. This time I went with clothes that are me. I was me this time. And in a way, because for a lot of things, network, when I don't know people, is kind of difficult for me. I'm like, the first step is difficult. Afterwards, I can talk with people, but the first step is difficult. So I pushed myself a bit, but not in a way that I will be super uncomfortable, because this is not what I wanted to do. I wanted to be me. And in fact, I also didn't want to like be superficial, not talk on a like real level with people, and being me and saying like what I really was thinking, what I really like, what I really I don't like, and things like this enabled me to connect with people in a very like in a much deeper way than if I would say what everyone would be expecting. So this is something that I really got from this summit, is like be you, like, and don't try to be someone else, because there will always be people who will like what you say, and people who will not like what you say. But if you don't like what you say yourself, then if you're not aligned with what you are, who you are, then this will like take you a lot of energy, and this is not good. And in fact, the first day, you know, I was supposed to go to the restaurant, you see, restaurant, network, and everything. I was tired. This was the first day. I'm breastfeeding mother, so like I was feeling like fever. I was feeling weak because I did not have my baby, and like basically I was not in a good condition physically on that day. I just went home, you know. I just went, well, not home, but I went to rest, and I took a good rest. And then the second day I went out, and I had more energy, and this was better. But if I hadn't followed what I am, then it would have been completely different. So really, like, you will meet the right people if you stay yourself to the beginning, from the beginning. And then one thing, yes, that I said already, really, if you can like share your values and also pick a cause. So that's something that I would like you to do today. Pick a cause that is important for you and see how you can fit this in your business. So for me, like, causes which are important would be something about the environment, to help people who have vegan businesses to grow, help people to grow their businesses, follow their dreams, help people or children to travel more, because this is my big passion. And if I can help others, if there are some causes, in fact I don't know, like if there are some companies or causes I can help locally, so that I can provide in a way, in a percentage for instance of my income, to help people travel more, and also education. If people have dreams and they don't have the funds for it, like, in a way I would like them to be able to follow those dreams. So find a way to find a cause that you can attach to your business, and this will also help you like connect with people who have the same values than you. And this was like really, again, great to hear Bob and Henrietta and Katie talking about this and how they do it in their business. This is, again, I will do training much deeper on this, but this was amazing to see. And lastly, the thing I learned from this summit is that the vacation rental industry, oh, it's great. It's amazing to be at such a summit with people who are working for the big OTAs. So from Booking, from Google, from Airbnb, from Marriott. There were people from Marriott, and by the way, I will talk to you about it in another video. And people who have companies who who managing over 20,000 properties, some with 2,000, as I told you, some with just 10. Some people are like me, who are like consultant or who own just one property. Then we could all talk together, we could all share, there were no hierarchy, and this is just amazing. And that's why, in fact, I will already register for next year event, which will be in France, in Annecy. They announced it at the end of the summit, and Annecy is one of the most beautiful cities in the world, according to me, and not because I'm French, but because it's just amazing. And so, yeah, I will go there, and because if you're in the vacation rental industry, and you really want to like meet motivated people, entrepreneurs like you, who really want to like grow and follow their dreams, this is an amazing summit, and that would be great to meet some of you there next year. So I think that's what I wanted to say. And it was just great to learn from so many people. Those talks had so much value, as I said, for the vacation rental business, but also for the business level and personal level in general. This was just amazing. There were people from 32 countries, over 400 people came, and we could just all talk together and talk on a deeper level, not just business, and second, on a deeper level than just introduction. So this was an amazing summit. I learned a lot personally and for my business, and I cannot wait to share more in the group about like the different things that I learned, especially for this vacation rental industry. So that's it for today, and I wish you a good day. Bye bye.